And now for the conclusion. Pointy has no answer for me. I resign myself to my fate. The silence between us is deafening, until it is broken by the screech of another elephant bird flying off overhead. Suddenly, Pointy begins spinning in excitement. I stumble away, fearing for the safety of my eyes. Only moments later, when he calms down to a vigorous shake, do I approach him. "What, Pointy? You saw something? What? What is it?" His excitement is contagious. He is pointing towards the small hill at the edge of the forest, but I have no idea what he is trying to say. Is it the glowing trees? No. The monkeys' homes? No. I continue guessing, but Pointy keeps shaking his head. He finally freezes, pointing slightly away from the hill. The fields? I know I can leave through the fields. You remember, I was following the caterpillar. My eyes widen with realization. He was pointing at the caterpillars, and their nest that lay at the bottom of the hill. Of course. Why did I not think of it earlier? I gave a happy jiggle as another elephant bird screeched overhead. Pointy started whirling happily too. "Pointy, you genius! I could hug you," I exclaim. "And I will. Stop turning. Yes. No. Hey, you'll poke my eye out. Stay still, will you? No? Okay. Shoulder hug then. And done." I don't think Pointy likes hugging. I look into his eyes. They're tearing up. I turn away, wiping tears from my own eyes. I let out a sniffle in a vain attempt to check my emotions. "You've been a good friend, Pointy," I say, unable to control my tears. Pointy slowly turns away to face the sunset. He cannot bring himself to say goodbye either, our impending separation weighing heavily on him. If this is to be goodbye, I wish you well. Unable to say anything else, without another word, I turn away and head to the innards of the forest. I go down the trees on which Pointy had made his humble abode. The large sun in the sky has set by the time I reach the canopy of the forest below. It was dark out. This would be the first time since I had run into Pointy that I was entering the forest after dark. It has never been a pleasant experience, and I did not expect today to be any different. However, I had a clear goal now. This time, I would not let Pointy down. Today, I will make my escape. With a deep breath, I find an opening and enter. The glowing trees and the mini suns are out in full force. They blind me for a moment before my eyes adjust to the brightness. As I cautiously walk across the straight, sturdy, and abnormally smooth branches that made up the forest canopy, I spare a look down. Below me, on the ground, the furless monkeys continue their hustle and bustle without break, their footsteps rising and echoing through the depths of the forest. Do they never sleep? I should have asked Pointy about that. As he passed through my thoughts, I get distracted and miss my jump, landing on a lower branch and slightly hurting my forelegs. This would not do, not at all. Pointy expected more of me. I had to be careful. Luckily, this part of the forest was darker than the rest of it, and the furless monkeys with their dull eyes could not see me scrambling overhead. I jump and climb my way across the branches with intense focus. After an eventful and grueling 2-hour ordeal, I reach a narrow hollow tree that leads to the caterpillar nest. I happen to run into a pair of hawks nesting in the canopy. I thoroughly enjoyed the look on their face when I leapt over their heads rather than playing dead. Pointy would have spun laughing at it. Letting out a small chuckle, I cautiously descend into the tree, leaving the unnatural suns behind to enter the caterpillar nest. Thankfully, the nest is only lit up by the moonlight coming in from a giant hole in the nest's roof. I can see several of them resting there, their multiple stomachs empty of the cuboid eggs. I sneak around, attempting to figure out which caterpillar would be the quickest and safest way out of here. I try and remember from my days spent with Pointy if any of the caterpillars seemed familiar, especially the active ones. Unable to recall any, I decide to pick the biggest one. The bigger ones would be the first ones to feed, after all. I sneak into one of its empty stomachs and wait expectantly. Well, this forest would have its one last laugh before letting me go. It had been hours. The caterpillar I picked did not move an inch. Instead, it chose to laze around, while the other smaller ones continued to ferret in and out of the nest. I could not even move to another since the furless monkeys were moving in and out of the nest with frequency. I could not risk alerting them or the caterpillars. It would jeopardize my escape this close to the end, so I stuck to my choice. Lying in the cold innards of the caterpillar, hungry and thirsty, but my resolve was unshakable. Even the whiff of the bounty of a white mini-tree could not entice me to leave my hiding spot. Eventually, fatigue got the better of me and I dozed off into a deep sleep. Until a sudden jolt woke me mere moments ago. As I opened my eyes to see a pile of eggs in front of me, I barely managed to stifle an excited yelp. It will not do to get caught now. The caterpillar slithers out of its nest at a slow and steady pace. A sliver of sunlight beyond the caterpillar's outer shell tells me we're now outside its nest and in the fields beyond. I debate whether or not to jump out now and make a run for it. However, the snoring rumble of an elephant bird reaches my ears. I would never outrun the furless monkeys handling the eggs. I should wait for my moment. The snoring steadily increases in volume until it is deafening, but I endure it. Escape was at hand. I have an epiphany. I decide to climb into the elephant bird and escape to wherever it may take me. Why bother risking life and limb trying to cross the fields, only to go back to my condescending, pesky relatives? Anything would be better than that. Or this strange forest. The furless monkeys start pulling out the eggs to stuff them into the elephant bird's side. The elephant bird intermittently lets out a deep rumble. Its sleep is being disturbed. Hopefully it does not fly off before I can climb in. I grab on tight to a large egg in front of me, my claws digging deep into its outer shell. And after what seems like an eternity, a monkey lifts the egg and shoves it into the elephant bird. I breathe a sigh of relief as the egg finally lands inside. I let go and let out a whoop. As I wait for the elephant bird to take off, its hole begins to close. In the distance I can see Pointy, wiggling ever so slightly. "Goodbye, Pointy," I yell at the top of my voice. "I will miss you. You're the best friend one could hope for." A coarse growl from the back of the closed space startles me. "Hey, buddy, pipe down," a sleepy raised voice speaks in the darkness. It's a long flight and I have already taken my sleep meds. The end. From the author. From the outside, the opossum's friendship might seem one-sided naivety on his part, but for him, Pointy was his anchor in the strange forest, and that perhaps makes the friendship real. While it goes off on unknown adventures, Pointy made its mark. What did you make of their friendship? The next story begins on the 14th of May, 2026. See what they see.